Hi everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Sue. I'm back with the Winter Sparkle journals. So we've got the B6 and we've got the A5. I haven't sewn in the signature yet, but we've put the papers in, decorated the front and the backs. I said in my last video, why did I say it? I'm just going to put these to one side. I said that I was going to make some shakers. So this has really taxed my brain, I have to say. I have no idea how to make them. I've looked at a couple of YouTube videos from, you know, a while back now. People that have done them years ago, really. But some have used a kind of a heat pen thing, and some have kind of done it a different way. Some have used material. So I think I'm just going to really wing it and hope that we get something. So these are the pieces I've got. So I told you I had these little frames. So what I've done is I've prepared these pieces so that it wouldn't take so long. So I've got the frame that already was like this, and it's a sparkly frame. Then I've cut the vellum out to go underneath, but not cut it exactly the same size. I've cut it so that it's just inside. Now you can see a bit of black there. That's where I had to use a marker pen, as I have not been able to see this vellum. Then I've cut out a backing piece, and it's just a piece of scrap out of the pages that we've used out of the Swan book, you know, scrapbook pad, and then some card to go on the back. And then in theory, the sparkles will go in behind the vellum. So we've got some blues here. This is all glitter, and another this is Cosmic Shimmer Glitter, kind of jewels they're called, and they're very pretty. And then I've got some stars, and I've got all this sort of glitter. It's different to glitter, it's bigger, it's all little circles. And so I've got those bottles. Now I buy a lot of crafting bits and bobs in the Works, which is a shop in the UK, which I've mentioned before. We have Hobbycraft. I find that quite expensive. I think your equivalent in the US certainly is Hobby Lobby, I think, but it sounds like it's a bit cheaper. It's a craft section in the Range, which is like a superstore here in the UK that sells everything, household goods, you know, toiletries, some food, animal foods, paints, wallpaper, furniture, mirrors, you name it. It's that sort of shop. And then the Works is just a cheaper shop, so it's ideal for things like this, that has a crafting section. It sells books, toys, stationery, pens, that sort of thing, but it also has this crafting section. So that's where I've bought these glitter tubes from. So I bought a whole pack of these in a range of colours. I think there were 6 tubes for £1. So I just picked out the blue and the silver. These little bottles again came in a pack of different colours, and I think there were possibly 6 or 8 in the pack of these, and they were only £1. But I love these little glass bottles with a cork in. I think they're so cute. I call them potion bottles. They're very cute. These stars came from the Works, a big jar full, and they're iridescent, pearly iridescent, and they were only £1. They're just called mini confettis. So I did make up some of this. As you can see, it's very blue and silver, but I've really struggled, because what I actually made as a prototype, and this is typical of me, go the whole hog, I thought, oh, I'll make a bookmark. So what I did is I cut 2 pieces of identical length of white card. I've stenciled in silver on the fronts and on the backs, like so. And then I put some vellum behind and sandwiched them. And I just couldn't work out how to do it. So all I did was use my 1.5 inch circle punch. And I punched 3 holes in each one. And I glued the whole kind of sandwich down on 3 sides, and I also divided with a line of glue, a bead of glue in between each circle, and same with this one. And then when they were dry, I had obviously gaps here and here, and I took me ages to get the sparkles in, and I'm telling you, you know, I don't want to ever make one again. I've had glitter everywhere and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. So that's what I made. So, I mean, that needs to go flat because that's gone a bit bendy. But on the whole, that's the first attempt, and I rounded the corners. I didn't think they were too bad. So, but, you know, this silver Dovecraft ink that I showed you, you know, I've got a whole stash of different colours. It's the premium pigment ink pad, and it's silver. I've got a few different colours, but it's never seems to dry. Look at that, it's on my hands, and I only did the stenciling yesterday. So, and I actually dried one of these with a hairdryer because I don't have a heat gun, but I did dry one with a hairdryer, and obviously it didn't really dry it. So I may have to go over these with 1 layer of Mod Podge to seal them. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Okay, so that's what I made. So, not saying they're successful, not saying they're not, but I'm going to try and do them a different way. So I made this one myself. So I've got some of that silver sparkly card, punched a hole with this circle punch, put some vellum on the back, and then white card, and I've rounded the corners. And what I wanted to do was just stencil the background with probably silver again. When I say stencil, I used the Christmas stamps that I've got, so I just stamped it all over. So I think that's what we'll do. Or we might find a bit of something to go in the back of there, maybe. So that's one I made. That's one came already made. This one came already made, this frame. It's green sparkly. So again, I've cut some acetate. I don't know if I called it vellum earlier. Acetate, a scrap of that paper out of the pack, the Swan pack, and card. And I've cut all those 3 pieces behind the frame, as you can see, smaller than the actual frame. So that's that one. And then this is one ready to go. So what I want to do with this one is just show you how I punch the, I mean, obviously you don't need me to show you it really. This is what I did with the circle punch. Kind of got it to the back, made sure it was looked even either side, if you can just see there. And then it's very tricky to do, but the trouble is if you have a bigger piece of card, you can't get the hole where you want it. So I think that's probably right. So let's just punch a hole and see. So you get these lovely circles afterwards as well, which we can do something with. So there's the hole. It's slightly wider there and slightly wider there. So what I'll do is I'll just take a slither off. But we can't make it too narrow, because if we do, we haven't got a lot of room to so I think I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to round the corners So again, the background is blank at the moment, so I'm going to round the corners with a corner rounder, but I'm going to try and only use the 4mm, and I was going to try and do it all together as one sandwich, because vellum, no, it doesn't like the 4. Okay, no, it doesn't like, I don't think it likes the vellum, so let's just see if we can do it. No, it doesn't like the vellum, so we'll have to cut that a bit smaller. So we'll just cut the 4mm corner. It's very temperamental at times, this is. See, I don't know, maybe it doesn't think that's completely straight. That's the only rational thing I can think of. So if we just cut that side off, let's have another go. Right, that's better. Yeah, if it's not perfectly square, doesn't like it. So let's see what it does on this. No, it doesn't like that corner. Right, doesn't like this side either. So this side is slightly wider than the others, so that might be why. Okay, to get rid of all these bits, otherwise they're going to stick to the acetate. Right, that's better. So that's how I did that. And where's the vellum? You can hardly see it. So the vellum I'm just going to cut down a tiny bit. If we can't round the corners, I have to make it slightly smaller. It's very difficult to see. So that's keeping it sandwiched in there for now. Okay. Right, okay. I don't know that the white card now is the same size as the... Goodness me. Take another bit off. Okay, that's better. Right, let's just round those. Right, I'll just put that back on the shelf, put that away, and we have 2 there. Now we may do those, we may run out of time, because as I say, this is not something I'm finding easy. Okay, so this is what I thought I would do. I thought I would stick, this is my theory, I don't know if it's anyone else's. I don't know if you've got any links to videos, or you've done one yourself and you've got a link to it for me, please send it to me, because I would be very grateful for a tutorial on how to make these without fancy gadgets, because I don't want to buy one of those heat sealing tools, to be honest. So I'm going to stick this to the card like so. Doesn't matter if it doesn't quite meet edge to edge, because it's going to be covered with the frame. Just give that a burnish. Okay, all right. Okay, now this is the tricky bit. So then I'm going to glue the acetate to the back of the frame, and make sure before you do that your acetate is as dust free as you can get it. So bringing back the glue book, and my glue book that I keep using the pages, look, I'm terrible. Okay, so bringing back that, now I have to put a thin bead of glue around this acetate, but only a tiny thin bead. Because we don't want it, we want it sealed. Just wondering whether the Beacon 3-in-1 is better for this. This is where I get to the stage where I'm thinking, I'm second guessing now whether I'm doing the right thing, you see. Honestly, I've had a sleepless night over this, trying to go through scenarios of how to do it. Isn't it awful? So I want to get that down on there. So you have to make sure your hands are clean. Now I don't want to spread it towards the frame, so just want to spread that. Oh my gosh. Spread it the opposite way to the edge, because you don't want glue on your acetate. And I just have a tiny bit on that one. Gosh. And it attracts all the dust. Right. And then what I'm going to do next, let's get a piece of paper actually. So I'm going to leave that one to dry for a minute. So I'm going to just get a piece of old scrap copy paper. Yeah, that I've been using as glue book really. And you can wipe the windows of these with a wet wipe, I've realised. Right, okay. Let's just give that a wipe with that, and that side as well. Right, okay. So this is the bit this is the only way I know how to do it. So I'm not going to use the bits in the jar, in the dish. I am going to just sprinkle. Now I have ordered a little scoopy thing, but so you've got to get it all in the middle, so it's easier. I've found people are using sequins, which I think is probably a bit easier than using oh, can't think of the name of it now. Glitter. And you want to keep it away from the edge because you're going to glue around there. So we put a bit of that in, and I think we're going to keep this one sort of silvery, so put a bit of these in. Now I find these want to go everywhere. Ooh. Right, let's just use that. So what can we use to, I'm just going to use my nail file. And get it as best I can in the middle. Now if this works, it will be a miracle. Okay, so I'm going to glue, hold it down, and I'm going to put a thinnish bead of glue all the way around, but make sure you don't leave any gaps, as we know what happens, it will all come tumbling out. Okay, moment of truth. Just going to turn this round gently. Hope you can see. I think you can. And I want to pop the frame on. I'm just popping it on because I know that the piece behind is smaller. Now I've got to be careful now, because if I press it down too hard, it could squeeze the glue under the acetate. So we'll leave that one to dry. We won't shake it, but give it a gentle press. I'd rather it came out on the back, the glue. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one there. Okay, and let's do the same with this one. So glue book, I'll just get the pages over. I've got lots of loose pages in my glue book. As I say, I tear them out and then I don't throw them away. When they're dry, I just reuse them. So press that down there like so, move that away, give that a burnish, not too hard. Gosh, this has got mucky, this, forever washing my bone folder. Okay, so now we've done that piece, so now we're taking the frame. Oh no, and the acetate. Giving it a dust down on my top. And I'm going to glue that. Now I'm going to try the Beacon 3-in-1 this time, because I know it dries clear. And I just want a thin bead. Now do I put it on there? I did last time, didn't I? Gosh, you see, glitter is getting everywhere. Okay, so I'm got very shaky hands because of my thyroid. You have to excuse me. I never can do a nice bead of glue. Try not to touch the inside if you can help it, because you don't want your fingerprints all over it as well as everything else. Whose idea was this to make shakers? Mine. Do I think it was a good idea? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I don't know what's happening. This glue's disappearing. Oh. Oh. Quickly put some more on. Yeah, it's disappearing. Maybe it doesn't, vellum doesn't like it. I don't know. Okay, let's get that down on that frame there. Oof. Okay. So I'm just going to hold that in there like so and wipe it to the outer edge. Okay. So now we have, I'm just going to wipe it on my top. Okay. Okay, right. So now comes the moment of truth. Look, we've got sort of green, so it's a bluey sort of green, aqua I think it's called. So shall we have oh, I'm noting this one. Oh, okay, this is glitter, you see. This is going to be very, very right. That's enough of that colour. Okay. What else should we put in? How about, I don't want too much blue because the frame is greeny colour, isn't it? Some of that. And we'll put a bit of silver in, I think. Okay. Now, don't breathe. Imagine if you sneezed right now. Be sneezing a whole glitter shower. I just want to make sure that the edges are completely sealed as quickly as I can. Right, okay, here we go. Now is that round that way? See, it's very static as well. Again, just now I'm doing mine two-dimensional, I think you'd call this. I noticed that some ladies, I think possibly card makers, are using those, what do you call them, foam squares, like you have when you have a 3D birthday card or something. And I don't have any of those. I don't make cards really. So, okay, so that's those two, which were ready-made frames. Now these are the homemade ones. So I want to put something in the back there. Now, just want to think, what can I put in? What scraps do I have? Oh, did you hear my chair then? Oh gosh. Oh, sounded like it was going to collapse. So I don't know, these are the little topper pieces out of the, now is that going to fit into that circle? Just, we could put that one in there, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so I punched some of them out, and I'm just looking in this bag. I've got some bits in here. I think that's too tall. So, I thought I was going to use that material I bought from Denise at Junk Journal Junkie? No, yes, UK, something like that. Sorry, Denise, I'm always getting you mixed up with another one. You probably know who I mean. Alright, I'm just getting this scrapbook back, so we'll put that one to one side. This is the scrap pad for the Enchanted Swan. So the challenge I gave myself was to not use any digitals. So there's that circle there. Let's see if there's another one. Already got that one that says Winter Wishes. Lots of triangular bits. Let me think. I've kind of pulled it about now, so I don't think there's anything suitable, so we may use something different. So that's a bit small. I don't want two the same really. Okay, let's put that back. And let's have a look at the scrap paper we have in here with all our bits that we might want to use. So let's have a think. I've got some of that music, sparkly music we could make, I think. So if that is going to be the same size as that. That's going to be tight, isn't it, too? If I punch one of those out, this is the biggest one I have. Actually, I can just tell by trying that. That's going to be too just, it will only just fit. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. Try it and see. So let me just turn it round so I want to see what image I'm going to get. Let's try it. Risk it for a biscuit, as they say. If not, we'll make a square, cut a square of it out. Yeah, so if I put that, move that acetate, so if I put it there like that, put the frame on the top, it's really going to be tight, so no, I knew it wouldn't work. That's okay, it's another circle we can use. So I'm just going to bring the guillotine back and just cut a small square. That'll be fine, I think. Let's just gauge it. It's possibly a bit big. And that's quite nice because it's going to have glitter in it. So you just really want something in the background. So I think that's fine. Which piece do we prefer? That one. Or that one. That one. Right, okay. give that a shake. I've got to hoover tomorrow anyway. Right. Okay, so I've decided I'm not stenciling in the background of these. So I'm just going to corner around this piece because otherwise the corners are going to stick out. Okay, so I shall use the Beacon 3-in-1 because this is quite thick. Dark now outside. That's going to go on that. Like so. And we want to stick the vellum just going to wipe that off for a minute because it's a bit blobby. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so last time I stuck the vellum on to the piece. Oh God, this is very messy. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, everything's falling over. Okay, so again, I just don't want to touch it with my fingers really. I'm just easing out. Pressing down that glue. Okay, like so. Good thing about this is you can, when it's tacky, you can just pull off any excess. It's not difficult to get off. Okay, now does our vellum look relatively dust free? I think so. Okay, so now that down there for a minute to dry, and let's think. Well, I have got another. Let's have a look in my glitter. I have got this one. What's the difference between that blue? Well, that's kind of a greeny one. Let's use that. So these are all the other ones in the kit. So you do get 6. You get all these colours and all these colours in the bottles. So yeah. Yeah, I don't have a huge stash of things like glitter. But I don't want to go mad buying loads of... I just tipped those out, didn't I? Because I wasn't paying attention. I'll just move them over there. So I'm just going to put a tiny pile in the centre there. And we'll put a little bit of I'm scared of this one because it's a big pot. I haven't a bit out of my nail file. Comes in very handy. Very handy tool. But put the lid on, otherwise it'll be everywhere. Okay, and we've just put a tiny bit, I think, of silver in here. These bottles are quite manageable, I think. Okay. Oh, now I stick to the Beacon 3-in-1, I think. Okay. Right. Oh. Which way round was this? Oh, got to get that as, if it's not quite to the edge, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm going to have to just hold that so I can stop it moving while I'm, it's all very technical tools here. Yeah, I may just have to trim that edge on that one. What you don't want is the glitter to go too near the glue before it's dried. Okay, let's leave that one. Shaking the paper in the bin. Okay, last one. So this circle is bigger than this, I think, than this 1.5 inch, just a tad. It's just enough. So kind of got to put that where I can see it. Got to line that up exactly right. So, okay, I'm just holding that. And I'm just going to just draw one line around the top so I know where it's going to be glued. Okay. So we can line that back up with that, you see, like so. Okay, just shaking that because, see what I mean, that blue glitter, I'm going to have to scrape that back into the pot if I can. Now let's do the card and not the vellum this time. Spreading that round because it's quite a big blob. Okay, I can't see any gaps. Vellum. Here it is. Okay. That now has to go onto that, like so. Okay. And then we need to put, let's try that for a minute. Right, now we need to put, okay, turn that over. So let's think, what one are we going to use? I haven't used stars, but I don't know if they're a bit too big for this. No, I think we'll stick with the small bits. So we will use some this one. Okay. Right. And gosh, I didn't mean to tap it that hard. And what should we put? A tiny bit of a tiny bit of this silver glitter, I think. So it's what kind of silvery. Oh, oh. Will be enough, I think. Let's wipe the end of this. Okay, so kind of have to go near the circle, the cut-out circle, because this might not be very successful, and because of the shape of the piece inside. Put it corner to corner. Now, don't want to press that glue around that circle window. Right, let's leave that one to dry. Okay, let's move that out of the way, put the glue back. Oh, bent the pin now. Okay, see, I'm not going to be able to get that back in that little potion pot, so I'm just going to put it in this dish of ready-made mixed. Who knows what we might use that for? We don't know. But it can stay in there, it's not a problem. Okay. Oh, right. Now, let's have a look. So this should be dry. So let's give this a shake. I find that these get static, you know, and they... So there's one shaker there. Give that a little bang. Make sure nothing comes out. And I'm not sure that it's as successful with glitter, you know, whether I might invest in some sequins. That's a better one. Just have to tap it. There. There's that one. But we better not shake that one yet. So we've made 4 anyway. I'm going to have to trim this one. I will do that off camera. So we've made 4 shakers. So I managed to do something. Whether they're successful in your eyes, I don't know. But as I say, if anyone's got a very good link to someone else's YouTube video to make these without fancy, you know, instruments or tools, or if you've got a tutorial on your channel that you want to share with me, I'd be very grateful, because I would be interested to see, you know, how other people do these. So that's it from me, folks. I need to go and have a lie down now. Paddy's groaning because he's fed up because Daddy's not here, he's away, so he's only got me to have company with, and he's fed up already, I think, because I'm busy. But as soon as I go and sit downstairs, if I do later on, he'll want to play. That's what he likes to do. So I'll bid you good night because it's evening here, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.